Long ago, along the eastern shores of Africa, where the turquoise waves of the Indian Ocean meet warm, sandy shores, small coastal villages began to grow. The salty air carried the sounds of fishermen casting their nets into the sparkling waters, their boats bobbing rhythmically with the tides. The scent of fresh fish mixed with the earthy aroma of the nearby forest, where skilled craftsmen shaped wood and stone into tools, jewelry, and intricate carvings. Life here was simple yet rich, with each day unfolding to the gentle rhythm of the sea. These villages, built on a foundation of hard work and community, were inhabited by people with curious spirits. They gathered around evening fires to exchange tales of the ocean, of winds that carried whispers from distant lands. Over time, these fishermen, craftsmen, and curious traders would become part of something much greater. As foreign ships began to dot the horizon, bringing visitors with silks, spices, and stories from lands beyond, Kilwa and the other villages found themselves at the center of a thriving network of trade and cultural exchange. This is the beginning of the Swahili City-States. Is a story woven with resilience, tradition, and the spirit of cultural exchange. Through each interaction, these coastal villages grew, not only in wealth but in spirit, eventually transforming into flourishing city-states where cultures, goods, and ideas flowed as freely as the ocean tides. The beach is alive with activity. Kato, a young fisherman with a bright spirit and keen eyes, stands on the shore, shading his gaze with his hand as he peers towards the ocean. Beside him, his younger sister now clutches a woven basket, her eyes wide with excitement as he spots the incoming boats with tall, colorful sails.
Look, Nala, more ships are arriving, and they're bigger than the ones we saw before.
Do you think they'll have the same things? Mother adored the spices they brought last time. She said they smelled like faraway lands.
Maybe this time they'll bring something even more amazing. Let's go closer and see if we can hear their stories.
Each boat's arrival brought more than goods. It brought tales, mysteries, and wonders from distant lands, sparking excitement among the villagers of Kilwa. As foreign traders in colorful robes stepped onto the sandy shores, the villagers experienced glimpses of a vast world beyond their own, mountains of gold, endless deserts, and towering cities. The traders' treasures, from polished ivory to vibrant glass beads and fragrant spices, painted vivid pictures of far-off places in the villagers' minds. These interactions sparked a transformation in the community, as villagers realized they were part of a larger world. No longer a small coastal village, Kilwa became a meeting place for cultures and traditions, where every trade and story shared added richness to their lives. Through this exchange, Kilwa evolved, blending resilience and openness and laying the foundation for the Swahili City-States that would thrive on the coast. The boats touch the shore, and men dressed in colorful robes step onto the sand, their hands laden with chests and bundles. Among them is a tall Persian trader with a neatly wrapped turban and a warm smile. He waves to the villagers as they gather around him, all eyes fixed on the treasures he carries.
Greetings. Friends, I bring spices from my homeland, more fragrant than the flowers in your forests. And here, look at this.
What is that?
This young friend is porcelain from faraway China. Only the finest merchants carry such treasures across the seas. It's as rare as a pearl and as smooth as polished coral.
Imagine, Kato, our village has things that people from so far away desire. Maybe one day we'll have treasures like that too.
The people of Kilwa were captivated by the exotic treasures brought by foreign traders. Porcelain with intricate designs, fragrant spices, and brilliantly colored fabrics that filled the marketplace with wonder. These items, each carrying the essence of distant lands, opened the villagers' eyes to a world beyond their shores. Yet, as they admired these foreign goods, they began to see their homeland in a new light. Kilwa, too, held precious treasures, rich veins of gold, gleaming ivory, and the skilled craftsmanship of its artisans, who created beautiful jewelry and carvings. Slowly, the villagers recognized the unique wealth and beauty of their own resources. They realized that just as they longed for goods from distant places, others would soon journey to Kilwa, drawn by the promise of African riches. Kilwa would soon grow into a thriving hub, a city renowned for its vibrant exchange of cultures and treasures. As evening falls, Kato and Nao sit with their family around a crackling fire. They're joined by the Persian trader, who captivates the villagers with stories of his journey across the seas. The firelight flickers on his face as he speaks, his voice rising and falling like the waves he has crossed. Tss.
On my journey, I sailed across waters so vast that for days there was only the sea and the sky. I saw storms that howled like a lion and waves that rose as high as mountains, all for treasures and wonders like the ivory and gold from your land.
We may be small here on the coast, but we have strength in our craft and treasures gifted by the earth.
Did you see any strange creatures out there? My friend said the sea has monsters that guard treasures.
Oh, there are strange things in the deep, young one, but sometimes the greatest treasures aren't guarded by monsters, but by trust between friends across waters.
Each new story and treasure brought by traders stirred excitement in the people of Kilwa, awakening a sense of adventure and connection to the world beyond their shores. Once a simple village defined by familiar routines, Kilwa transformed into a vibrant place of exchange, where tales of distant lands and exotic goods filled the minds of its people with wonder. Traders spoke of rivers sparkling with gold, towering cities, and bustling marketplaces, sparking curiosity among young and old alike. As they listened to these stories, the villagers began to see their home as more than just a place to live. It was a gateway to a larger world, a place that could thrive through exchange and friendship with those from afar. They took pride in their own resources, realizing that others valued Kilwa's ivory, gold, and craftsmanship just as they cherished the foreign treasures brought by travelers. Kilwa grew into a unique link between cultures, a place where stories, dreams, and goods from across the ocean intertwined to create something extraordinary. Parnam. The next morning, a small group of villagers gathers to discuss the changes the traders bring. Elders and young people alike share ideas about the potential of Kilwa, inspired by the visit of the foreign merchants.
One day, Kilwa will be known as a city that brings treasures to all who visit. We'll be known not just for the things we have, but for the people we are.
And maybe one day, we'll even build houses as grand as theirs, strong enough to last through the ages.
As dreams of a grander future filled their hearts, Kilwa began to transform from a simple fishing village into a vibrant hub of cultural exchange. The once quiet community buzzed with energy. As traders, explorers, and travelers arrived daily, bringing not just goods, but also stories, languages, and ideas that expanded the villagers' horizons. Modest, thatched huts gave way to sturdier coral stone buildings adorned with intricate carvings that celebrated both local and foreign artistry. The air was rich with the scents of Arabian spices, Indian fabrics, and Kilwa's own ivory and gold. At the heart of this transformation was the people's resilience, a commitment to preserving their traditions while embracing the new. They welcomed diversity, valuing relationships with traders as much as the treasures exchanged. Kilwa became a gateway for cultures, where different worlds met and connected. This openness and strength laid the foundation for the Swahili City-States, bustling centers of commerce and culture along Africa's eastern coast, symbolizing the limitless possibilities of a shared future. As Kilwa, Mombasa, Waspi, and other coastal towns thrived, something truly remarkable was unfolding along Africa's eastern shores. These were no longer just simple fishing villages. They were becoming vibrant centers of trade and culture. With every ship that arrived, the townsfolk encountered new customs, foods, and ideas, each weaving itself into the fabric of their daily lives. Influences from Arabia, Persia, and India mingled with their own, transforming the familiar rhythms of their communities into something richer and more colorful. Arabian traders introduced delicate spices that added depth and warmth to local dishes, bringing flavors that filled the air with scents of cinnamon, cloves, and cardamom. Persian artisans shared their skills in pottery and weaving, inspiring local craftsmen to incorporate new designs and techniques into their own work. Indian merchants brought cotton fabrics dyed in brilliant hues, introducing a new sense of color and style to traditional attire. The people of these towns eagerly embraced these influences, blending them with their own African heritage. This transformation was more than a simple exchange of goods. It was the creation of a new way of life. The result was a vibrant culture, a tapestry of languages, foods, art, and architecture that reflected both local roots and distant inspirations. This unique blend of tradition and innovation became known as Swahili, a culture that would flourish on the coast, uniting diverse people and ideas under one shared identity. The risk. The market is alive with energy. Merchants call out, showing off their wares to passers-by. Brightly colored fabrics are draped from stores, each one dyed in deep reds, indigos, and saffron yellows. Spices from distant lands fill the air, mingling with the smell of fresh seafood caught that morning. People weave through the market, examining goods, talking and laughing.
Look at all these new fabrics, Kato. They feel as soft as the breeze after the rains, and the colors, like nothing I've ever seen.
Yes, they call this cotton. The traders say it comes all the way from India. Can you imagine?
From India. They say our leaders are learning new ways to build with coral stone too, from the Arabs and Persians. They say it will make our buildings strong enough to stand for centuries.
Imagine that. Walls as strong as our resolve, lasting through the ages, like the stories of the old kings our elders tell us about.
The people of Mombasa and Kilwa were inspired by the materials, dinner techniques, and knowledge brought by traders from distant lands. Each new arrival carried a piece of a far-off culture, coral stones and wooden carvings from Persia, colorful textiles from India, and Arabic calligraphy, blending seamlessly with local traditions. The people didn't merely adopt these elements, they transformed them, creating something truly unique and resilient. Coral stone buildings stood firm against the coastal winds, while intricate carvings on wooden doors told stories of African legends, mingled with Arabic poetry and prayer. The marketplace became more than a place of trade. It was a vibrant center for cultural exchange. Every item, from Chinese porcelain to locally crafted ivory jewelry, held a story, bridging worlds through curiosity and respect. People shared customs, learned new languages, and exchanged ideas, creating a community that grew stronger and more interconnected with each new influence. This blending of cultures laid the foundation for the enduring Swahili culture. Asterisk. In a quiet corner of the market, an elder sits on a woven mat surrounded by children, including Nala and Kato. The elder speaks slowly, choosing words from both Bantu and Arabic, as the children listen intently, eyes wide. Nisoa.
Our ancestors traveled these lands long before us, yet now our language holds new words. From the Arabs, we learned to say salam to greet each other. From the Persians, we call our precious stones marjani.
Why do we use these new words, Elder? Aren't our own words enough?
Our words are strong, but when we welcome others' words, our language grows. It becomes like a river, winding and widening to carry more voices. This is how we become Swahili, open to change, yet rooted in who we are.
The blend of Bantu and Arabic words became the foundation of the Swahili language, uniting people from coastal towns, villages, and diverse backgrounds across East Africa. As traders and communities grew, the language evolved into a bridge, weaving together sounds and meanings from both local and foreign tongues. Swahili allowed people from all walks of life, merchants, families, leaders, to communicate, fostering connections that transcended their differences. More than just a tool for conversation, Swahili became a powerful symbol of unity and resilience, embodying the spirit of the people along the coast. It offered a shared identity that celebrated diversity while grounding them in a collective purpose. Each word echoed the warmth of the sun, the rhythm of the ocean, and the essence of a connected people. Through Swahili, they shared stories, laughter, and hopes for the future, creating a legacy that brought them together and strengthened their communities. This language of the coast became a cherished thread, weaving their lives into a shared cultural tapestry. The risk night has fallen, and the village is aglow with torchlight. People gather in a large open area for a festival, dressed in brightly patterned fabrics, some with jewelry crafted from local coral and ivory. The air hums with the beat of drums and the lively sound of flutes. Families, traders, and elders sit around laughing and sharing food.
Tonight, we honor the spirits of our ancestors and thank them for guiding our city. They watch over us as we welcome friends from distant lands, learning from each other. Together, we have built a culture that respects all who walk upon our shores.
Eyes wide with curiosity. Will the traders from far away dance with us too?
Yes, child. Tonight we are all Swahili, bound by the rhythm of the drum and the stories of our ancestors. Everyone here, from far and near, shares in our celebration. In our hearts and our customs, we are one.
The festival united people from diverse backgrounds, transcending language and origin as villagers and traders celebrated together. Amid the music, dancing, and shared food, a deep sense of connection blossomed. People felt closer to one another, to the visiting traders, and to the legacy of their ancestors, who had once walked the same land and watched over their journey. From this blending of cultures, the Swahili language was born, a fusion of Bantu and Arabic words, enriched by Persian and Indian influences. Swahili became more than a language. It was a bond that united coastal communities, a shared identity that connected towns and villages like the strong coral stone walls of their homes. Swahili was not just a way to communicate, but a way of life, a symbol of resilience as steadfast as the coastal winds and of openness as boundless as the ocean. It was a celebration of unity in diversity, honoring every voice, every story, and the collective spirit of the Swahili coast. The next day, leaders from neighboring villages gather in a small coral stone hall in Kilwa, its walls adorned with carvings of local animals and patterns inspired by Persian and Indian designs. They sit on woven mats, discussing ways to strengthen their towns through cooperation and trade. The leaders' promise of unity embodied the spirit of Swahili culture, one built on resilience, openness, and respect for diversity. Each town along the coast, from Kilwa to Mombasa and Zanzibar, contributed unique strength such as craftsmanship, navigation, and governance, forming a powerful network. This cooperation went beyond trade. It fostered a thriving, interconnected community where knowledge, stories, and customs were exchanged as freely as goods. The Swahili City-States grew into vibrant hubs of tradition and innovation, with markets filled not only with treasures, but also with the shared values and ideas of diverse people. Together, the towns created a coastal network that wove each community's identity into a unified culture, one that celebrated its diversity, honored its traditions, and welcomed change with open arms. This resilient way of life endured for generations, establishing the Swahili coast as a place where different worlds met, blended, and thrived, leaving a legacy of unity and openness for centuries to come. The Swahili city-states of Kilwa, Mombasa, and Zanzibar flourished along Africa's eastern coast, their prime locations and abundant resources drawing traders from all corners of the world. These cities glittered with prosperity, each morning welcoming ships heavy with goods, and each evening buzzing with the sounds of successful trades. Markets overflowed with merchants displaying goods as far as the eye could see. Silks from China, spices from India, and rare artifacts from Arabia, all alongside Kilwa's own gold, ivory, and vibrant textiles. The city streets were a blend of old and new, lined with coral stone buildings that seemed to rise proudly from the earth, their walls adorned with intricate carvings and wooden doors showcasing the skills of Swahili craftsmen. The air was thick with the scent of incense, mingling with the fresh ocean breeze and the rich aroma of local spices. Here, merchants, sailors, and nobles alike found a common ground, each transaction reinforcing Kilwa's growing reputation as a cultural and economic powerhouse. But as the city-states prospered, word of their wealth spread across continents. Powerful rulers from distant empires, Oman, Persia, and even Portugal, heard tales of these thriving cities, their markets filled with riches, and their harbors welcoming ships from every horizon. With success came not only admiration, but also the watchful eyes of those who saw Kilwa, Mombasa, and Zanzibar as jewels they might one day seek to possess. The Swahili City-States stood at a crossroads where opportunity and risk met on the edge of the sparkling ocean. The city of Kilwa is alive with activity as villagers rush to prepare for an important visitor. Stalls in the marketplace are arranged with the finest ivory carvings, the richest spices, and shimmering fabrics dyed in bold colors. Children hang garlands along the city's main road, while elders oversee the arrangements with a mixture of pride and worry.
Kato, why is everyone so busy today? And why are we putting out our finest treasures?
Haven't you heard? The Sultan of Oman is coming to visit. They say he's a powerful ruler and has taken an interest in our city. He might even help us become stronger.
But what if he wants to take control of Kilwa? This is our home. No one should rule it but us.
I understand, Nala, but remember, our people are resilient. We've always adapted to what life brings us. If the Sultan brings good, we'll welcome him. If not, we'll find a way to protect what's ours.
As the Sultan's grand ship approached Kilwa's shores, the people watched with mixed emotions. Many saw an opportunity for alliance and protection, envisioning stronger trade ties, fortified defenses, and greater respect from distant lands. To them, the Sultan's visit was a chance to elevate Kilwa's influence and prosperity even further. However, others felt apprehensive, particularly the elders who cherished Kilwa's long-standing independence. They feared that forming alliances with powerful rulers could come at the cost of Kilwa's freedom and unique identity. The Sultan's arrival, for them, was a test of Kilwa's resilience and ability to maintain its autonomy. Despite these mixed feelings, the people prepared with pride, determined to present Kilwa's strength and beauty. They polished coral stone buildings, arranged the marketplace with their finest ivory, spices, and crafts, and swept the streets. As the Sultan's ship drew near, Kilwa stood ready, not only to display its wealth, but to share the spirit of a city that had thrived through resilience and independence. The sun glints off the grand ship as it docks in Kilwa's harbor. The Sultan of Oman, dressed in luxurious robes and adorned with a jeweled turban, steps off the ship with an entourage of guards. Swahili leaders, elders, and curious villagers gather to greet him, their expressions a mix of awe, respect, and guarded anticipation.
I have heard tales of your prosperous city. Your markets overflow with riches. Your architecture rivals any I have seen, and your people are wise. Together we could create a powerful alliance.
Your Highness, we are honored by your visit. Kilwa stands as a testament to the strength of our people. May our alliance be one of mutual respect and prosperity.
I respect the strength of your people and your customs. I believe that together we can bring greater wealth and security to these shores.
The Sultan's proposal to Kilwa sparked mixed emotions across the city. Many saw an opportunity for a prosperous future, imagining expanded trade routes, increased wealth, and added protection from a powerful ally. For these hopeful villagers, an alliance with the Sultan promised stability and growth, securing Kilwa's status on the world stage. However, others, especially those closely tied to Kilwa's independent spirit, felt a quiet unease. They feared that the Sultan's offer might come with hidden intentions, and that aligning with the foreign ruler could jeopardize the freedom that Kilwa had preserved through resilience and unity. The leaders of Kilwa, understanding both perspectives, approached the proposal with cautious optimism. They recognized the potential benefits, but were wary of the risks. Determined to protect Kilwa's identity, they prepared to meet the Sultan with open minds, but vigilant hearts, seeking terms that would honor Kilwa's values and preserve its independence, while exploring the possibilities of this new alliance. That evening, Kilwa's leaders gather in a grand hall lit by oil lamps that cast flickering shadows on the coral stone walls. The Sultan sits among them, discussing the possibilities of their alliance. Pat! The elders of Kilwa listen closely, their expressions thoughtful. Although Kilwa formed alliances with powerful rulers, its people held firmly to their independence and identity. They valued their traditions deeply and took pride in their ability to balance outside influence with their cultural heritage. In the marketplaces, Persian silks were displayed beside locally woven fabrics, and foreign spices mingled with the unique flavors of coastal dishes, creating a blend that was both new and distinctly Swahili. Kilwa's coral stone architecture, adorned with Arabic patterns, remained rooted in African design, grounded in the knowledge of local climate and culture. This blend of old and new became Kilwa's strength, allowing it to adapt without losing its essence. The people of Kilwa were proud of their resilience, honoring their heritage while embracing change carefully. Their city stood as a symbol of unity and wisdom, showing future generations how to navigate new alliances while preserving what made them unique and truly Swahili. Asterisk. The day after the Sultan's arrival, villagers gather in the bustling marketplace, discussing the new alliance. Stalls filled with spices, fabrics, and jewelry provide a colorful backdrop as friends and neighbors share their thoughts. The people of Kilwa, Mombasa, and Zanzibar valued their traditions and their resilience. They welcomed alliances and change, yet held fast to their independence, knowing that their true strength lay in their unity and identity. The Swahili City-States would thrive, but only on their own terms. Together, the Swahili City-States built a culture that was both open and steadfast, welcoming new influences while preserving the spirit of their ancestors. Through resilience, unity, and pride, they would endure and flourish, creating a legacy of greatness along Africa's eastern coast. The Swahili city-states of Kilwa, Mombasa, and Zanzibar had grown strong and prosperous, their markets alive with goods from around the world, and their harbors filled with the sails of merchant ships. Known for their wealth, stunning architecture, and vibrant culture, these cities became jewels along the African coast, attracting traders who came in search of ivory, gold, spices, and rare fabrics. Coral stone buildings lined the shores, adorned with intricate carvings and grand doors that symbolized the city's pride and heritage. The scent of incense and spices drifted through bustling streets where people from various lands exchanged goods, stories, and laughter. Yet this prosperity did not go unnoticed by powerful empires far beyond the horizon. The Swahili City-States' wealth and strategic coastal locations drew the attention of foreign powers, who saw opportunity and riches to claim. Soon, Portuguese explorers arrived, their massive ships bristling with cannons and bearing the flags of conquest. The once peaceful harbors of Kilwa and Mombasa grew tense, the people watching with wary eyes as the unfamiliar ships approached. The Portuguese were not traders but conquerors, their intentions clear from the weapons they carried and the stern expressions on their faces. They saw Kilwa, Mombasa, and Zanzibar not as allies but as prizes to be claimed and controlled. The Swahili people, who had built their thriving cities on trade, cooperation, and respect, now faced a threat to their way of life and the freedom they had cherished for generations. On the horizon, Portuguese ships with tall masts and billowing sails grow closer, their cannons gleaming ominously in the sunlight. Villagers gather on the shore, their faces tense with fear and confusion as they see the foreign ships approaching.
Cato, those ships, they don't look like traders. Why do they come armed as if ready for battle?
They are not here to trade, Nala. These are conquerors, not merchants. They want our wealth, our land, and our people under their rule. They are not here to trade, Nala. These are conquerors, not merchants. They want our wealth, our land, and our people under their rule.
But this is our home. Our people have lived here peacefully for generations. We will not give it up to strangers.
No, we will not. We will stand together and defend what is ours.
The once peaceful shores of Kilwa, usually alive with trade and laughter, now lay under a tense, uneasy silence. Portuguese warships loomed ominously on the horizon, casting shadows over the harbor where colorful trading sails once welcomed visitors from distant lands. Kilwa had always embraced travelers, but these new arrivals were different. The Portuguese came armed, with cannons poised and faces set with cold determination. The people of Kilwa sensed the danger, realizing that the Portuguese sought not friendship, but conquest. Families gathered together, elders offered prayers, and young men and women prepared to defend their city. Kilwa's strength had always come from its unity, a bond built over generations of cooperation and resilience. As the Portuguese cannons fired, breaking the silence with a chilling roar, the people of Kilwa held firm. They knew their way of life was at risk, but their shared love for their home and determination to protect it would help them endure, even through the darkest of times. The city is thrown into chaos as cannonballs from the Portuguese ships crash into buildings and market stalls. Fires ignite, smoke fills the air, and villagers run in panic. Cato and a small group of men rally to protect their homes, while Nal hurries to shield the children.
Nala, take the children and hide in the storerooms beneath the coral stone warehouse. It's the safest place right now.
But Cato, why are they attacking us? We've done nothing to provoke them. But Cato, why are they attacking us? We've done nothing to provoke them.
They care only for power and riches, Nala. They see our wealth, our strength, and want it for themselves. But we are not weak, and we will not give up easily. This is our land.
Stay safe, Cado, for all of us.
As the Portuguese cannons roared and Kilwa's coral stone buildings crumbled, the city was engulfed in chaos and smoke. Yet, despite the destruction, the people of Kilwa stood together and fought back fiercely. Though unprepared for the full might of the Portuguese assault, their hearts burned with unyielding determination. Villagers, merchants, fishermen, and craftsmen united, forming a line of defense to protect their beloved city. Elder warriors took up their spears, mothers shielded their children, and young men and women carried water to douse the spreading flames. Every member of the community found a way to resist, each act of bravery a testament to their unity and shared resilience. The people of Kilwa knew that even if they suffered losses today, their spirit would endure. They fought not just for themselves, but for their ancestors who had built this city and for future generations who would inherit it. Kilwa's strength lay in its people, whose unbreakable spirit would carry them forward even through the darkest of times. After hours of bombardment, the Portuguese ships finally withdraw, leaving Kilwa scarred and smoldering. The city is quiet now, and villagers emerge cautiously from their hiding places, looking at the damage with a mixture of sorrow and resolve.
Our city, they've left it in ruins, but they couldn't destroy our spirit.
Kilwa has faced storms before, and we've rebuilt each time stronger than before. The scars will remain, but they will remind us of our strength.
We may be small, but our spirit is strong. We will rebuild, not just for ourselves, but for those who came before us and for those who will come after.
The devastation in Kilwa was severe, with coral stone buildings reduced to rubble and market stalls lying in ashes. Yet, the Swahili people refused to be broken. Gathering in the midst of destruction, elders, warriors, merchants, and children came together with a shared determination to restore their city. As they lifted broken stones and cleared debris, each act of rebuilding honored the legacy of their ancestors who had faced and overcome challenges before them. While they worked, they shared stories of past hardships, reminding one another of their people's strength and resilience. Every stone they lifted and every wall they rebuilt was a tribute to Kilwa's heritage and a promise to future generations. The Swahili people would not only restore their city but make it stronger, turning devastation into a symbol of their unity and unbreakable spirit, a legacy they were determined to pass down for centuries to come. The entire community comes together to repair the city. Elders, men, women, and children all pitch in, clearing rubble, repairing homes, and restoring the market. Neighbors share food, stories, and encouragement as they work side by side. The devastation in Kilwa was severe, with coral stone buildings reduced to rubble and market stalls lying in ashes. Yet, the Swahili people refused to be broken. Gathering in the midst of destruction, elders, warriors, merchants, and children came together with a shared determination to restore their city. As they lifted broken stones and cleared debris, each act of rebuilding honored the legacy of their ancestors who had faced and overcome challenges before them. While they worked, they shared stories of past hardships, reminding one another of their people's strength and resilience. Every stone they lifted and every wall they rebuilt was a tribute to Kilwa's heritage and a promise to future generations. The Swahili people would not only restore their city but make it stronger, turning devastation into a symbol of their unity and unbreakable spirit, a legacy they were determined to pass down for centuries to come. The entire community comes together to repair the city. Elders, men, women, and children all pitch in, clearing rubble, repairing homes, and restoring the market. Neighbors share food, stories, and encouragement as they work side by side.
We have always been a people of resilience, just as our ancestors overcame the challenges of their time. We too will rise again. We will build Kilwa back, stronger than ever.
We may have lost buildings, but our strength lies in our unity. Together we can create something even greater than before.
Yes, for we are Swahili, bound by our love for this land, our heritage, and our people. Nothing can break us if we stand together.
Despite the trials and hardships the Swahili City-States endured, they faced many challenges, but each one only strengthened their unity and resilience. Their traditions remained alive, preserved in their language, their customs, and their shared history. Though their cities bore scars, the spirit of the Swahili people remained unbroken, a testament to their courage and the lasting legacy they would leave. The Swahili people's resilience became their greatest strength. Through every hardship, they held on to their culture, their identity, and their love for their land. This spirit of unity and resilience became a legacy, one that would inspire generations long after the echoes of battle had faded, leaving a story of strength that still lives on today.